you guys upside down. But before we get going, we want to open it up for any testimonies anybody like to share. Maybe someone has some clean time underneath their belt, or someone may have just gotten a job, or someone might have graduated. Something that God has done in your life that you want to share with us, because we know that we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So if you're here in this room, you certainly can make your way up when I call you up. But if you're inside one of the correctional facilities, please slip up that little yellow hand, make your way up, share that popcorn short testimony with us. And if you're watching online, please make sure you drop it in the chat, and chat is going to be monitoring the chat. So we open it up. You have something you want to say once you make your way up? Come on up. Come on up. Give her a hand. Celebrate her. And what I want you to do is look right over there in the camera and tell everybody, first of all, your name.
Okay, my name is Trisha Pedro.
And what would you like to share?
I want to share that I got 1 year and 2 months clean, and I also just got my son back 5 days ago.
Oh, give her a hand for that, man. Outstanding. Outstanding. That is amazing. What an incredible comeback story that is. And how many you said how much clean time you got? Man, that is outstanding. Can we celebrate her again for that? That is amazing. Amazing, amazing. So open it up. Any other testimonies? We're going to go into Nevada Department of Corrections, since nobody in the room wanted to get up. Please step up, tell us your name, and what is that testimony you like to share?
My name is Samantha, and my grandson was born on May 4th.
Oh, outstanding. Congratulations. Congratulations. In addition to the family, you got to get home to that grandbaby. Come on, step up. Tell us your name, and what is that you like to share?
My name is Mo. Trisha, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. I came here, you stayed there, and you did it. You did it.
Oh, that's amazing.
So proud of you.
That is awesome. That is awesome. How encouraging is that? How encouraging is that? Open it up. Any other testimonies? Make your way up. Come on up. Give her a hand. Give her a hand. Look right over in the camera, because I'm about to make you famous. Tell everybody your name and what is it you like to share.
My name is Shayla Scott, and I like to share that I'm being obstacle with the journeys in my life, shut doors. I just keep walking through, and I like to ask for prayer for my 16-year-old. He's trying to go down the wrong path, and I don't have him in my custody full time. I get him on weekends, and he's 16 now, so he can decide whether he wants to come. And his dad's pretty much throwing his hand, so he's just running, doing what he wants to do.
Okay. So if you just tell us your son's first name.
Devin.
His name is
Devin.
So what I'm going to ask everybody in this room, inside the institution, remember when you're laying down tonight, say a special prayer for Devin. Can everybody do that? Let's go back inside Nevada Department of Corrections. We're going to go to Casa Grande. Please step up. Tell us your name and what is that you like to share.
My name's Lathan K. You know, I just want to thank Casa Grande and Hope for Prisoners and stuff for helping me get my paperwork in order. And I recently got hired. So, yeah, I just want to thank them and to all my friends in Southern Desert that you know, helped me stay out the way and helped me get to where I am today. And yeah, just thank you guys.
Man, that's awesome. Give him a hand for that, man. He said he just got hired. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. Any other testimonies you'd like to share? Well, please step up, make your way up here quick, fast, in a hurry. Can we give him a hand when he's coming up? Step up, tell us your name, and what is that testimony you'd like to share?
My name's Omar Stewart, and I remember I came here a couple months ago. I was struggling, you know. I had a little bit of clean time, no job. I was hurting for jobs. Like to let everybody know, I got a job now. That's right. I'm in a good sober living house. I'm working with a sponsor. I got 4 months clean, and I'm doing good, saving money, working.
Man, give him a hand for that, man. Give him a hand. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing that. Is that not exciting? Is that not exciting? That is amazing. Any other testimonies before we get going? Going once, going twice. It's gone. Hey, listen, we got an exciting treat for you. Was somebody at Casa Grande and I just shut him off? Somebody in Southern Desert. Please step up. He's waving. He look at you waving. He probably got family members watching online. He's waving at them. We think he got a little testimony. Step up. Tell us your name. And what is that testimony you like to share?
My name is Hassan Davis. I'm up here in Southern Desert. Hey, today I'm doing HVAC. I'm in the HVAC class. We took the test today. I passed with flying colors, 97 on my test.
Man, that's
I'm doing good.
awesome. That is so
Like
awesome.
I said, we in here keep thriving, and we want to get better for ourselves. You know, we're home.
That's right. Man, give him a hand for that, man. He said he is out at Southern Desert inside the vocational village, and he completed an HVAC training. That is so very, very exciting. So you guys are ready for this? I want you to say, get ready.
Get ready.
Say, this is going to be good.
Say, this gonna be good.
I might want to just move this podium right out the way for our speaker tonight, and you'll understand by 7:35 tonight when he turns it over to Q&A for you. So please make sure those nuggets that he drops in his room, you want him to expound on it, or you might just want him to elaborate it a little bit more. It might be something that really resonates with you. Then you're going to have the opportunity to do Q&A. Does that make sense? Hey, before we do that, let's bow our head and go before the Lord in prayer. And so, Father, we just come before you this evening in the name of Jesus, God. We just thank you for being the magnificent, wonderful, incredible God that you are. We thank you, God, for everything that you do, the things you've done, and God, and everything, God, that your word promises that you will do, God. We invite you into the midst of this huddle up, God. We ask you to huddle up with us. We lift up our speaker to you right now, God. We ask you to illuminate every gift, talent, and ability that's on the inside of him, Lord. And as he's sharing his words, God, give us eyes to see and ears to hear, God. Not that the words will get into our mind, but God, help those words sink deep into our spirit. We love you, we worship you, and pray this prayer in the matchless name of your son, Jesus Christ. In Jesus' name we say amen. Hey, so we got an exciting speaker here tonight. Like I said, he's a Hope for Prisoners own. He's a Hope for Prisoners graduate, and you guys are in for an absolute treat. I'm talking about the one and only Mr. Ali Porter. Ali was born and raised in Riverside, California, and he's the CEO of Words Are Rich LLC, a brand built on transformation, resilience, and growth. As certified life coach, personal trainer, and a motivational speaker, Ali draws on his own 10 years of incarceration to empower incarcerated and formerly incarcerated and the at-risk individuals to break through self-doubt, develop discipline, and unlock their full potential. Through life and fitness coaching, self-help books, and personal development programs, he delivers the tools and the guidance needed to create a sustained, lasting change. Words Are Rich LLC is more than just a business. It's a movement dedicated to the empowerment, the education, and self-improvement. If you guys are, please put your hands together and give it up for our very own Mr. Ali Porter. Ali, welcome to the Huddle Up.
How you doing, man?
Good, I'm good.
Man, listen, y'all make some noise for John Ponder. No, for real, y'all make some noise for John Ponder, you know. And I say that humbly with all respect, John. You know, we appreciate you. You know, everybody in this room, everybody on the TV screens that's inside, we really do appreciate you and all you do, the Hope of Prisoners organization, you know. So I want to make sure y'all get that, right? You know, we all here one way or another because of this man right here, right? So, and then of course the Most High, but I want to definitely send my gratitude. Also, all the staff at Hope of Prisoner as well, you know, that's putting this event together for us. But yeah, so my name is Ali Porter, life coach Ali Porter. I really don't do the talking about myself, right? So this is a little different in my expertise or what I do. You know, talking about myself is not really my strong suit because it's not really how I created the life that I have now. As he mentioned in the introduction, it's more about how I help others, right? So I'm gonna do the best I can to give you guys a backstory about my life, but realistically, I'm gonna do everything I can that you guys leave with just something. If it's nothing else, it's just something. Could I do that? All right, cool. I appreciate that, and I also want to ask permission to talk with you guys, including you guys inside, because I know that y'all listening too. Can I talk with you guys? Yeah, because growing up, they used to talk to us and at us, and I don't really like that. That's not really me. So I want to just talk with you. So then that's like an interactive thing. So kind of how you guys are saying yes and things like that. I might say something, you might have a disagreement. You might even want to say something back. Say something, we talking. You know what I'm saying? It's good. You know, for the time that I'm here, you know, I'm gonna go over time because I'm good at doing that too. So I'm gonna hit that clock right there and then we begin. So yeah, life coach Ali Porter, Words Are Rich LLC, all that fancy stuff. But I'm here today because I got a call and I was asked to speak. So I'm gonna share from my heart. And I'm gonna let you know a little bit about my story. So you gotta like, you know, lean your seats back a little bit. We're gonna go back to the 99 and the 2000s. Y'all remember that time? It's funny because I was only born in 92, but in 99, though, I was actually 7 years old. And the exciting thing about that is that's where my story begins. And that's called the insight part of it that I want y'all to take with y'all today. It's insight, right? So at 7 years old, picture this, picture me, little Ali. I'm at the door with my backpack, right? And I'm waiting for somebody to come get me. I think I know how this story ends, but I'm at the door. I'm looking fresh. I think I'm like fly, you know, back in the 90s, you got the high top, you know, things like that going on. And eventually my mom said, hey, get ready for bed. Get ready for bed? Yeah, get ready for bed. Put your bag, stuff up. Something not right. But I do as I'm told. And in that moment, I realized my dad is not coming. And so it may not make sense in this moment, but I'm gonna explain it for you. Right then and there, I learned disappointment, resentment, abandonment, hurt that turned into anger because that's a secondhand emotion. And that's where the story begins. So let's fast forward to the future now. You know, we 13, it's now 2004, 2005. We done made it out the 90s now, you know, it's early 2000s. I'm in junior high school. I'm living my life. Things seem to be good. At a certain age, most men, if not most people, right, start to feel like they got it under control. I'm kind of going through that with my daughter right now, and in that age where they figuring out their life, and so a lot of different things are happening, right? So for me, I decided I wanted to do what I wanted to do, and I jumped off into the streets. Well, for my dad, that meant that I was grown, and so I no longer stayed in this household anymore. That meant that I was now on my own outside of the household, and I'm like, okay. At 13, how do you figure that out? Like, how does that resonate to you? Like, do that feel like love? Do that feel like family? Do that feel like, you know, companionship, anything? Or do you now have that same feeling of abandonment come back up from the 99, right? Remember that in the 2000s when we was doing our thing back in the day? So stay with me because it's insights, causes and factors. And I'm going to tell you in the end why it's important, but I need you to stay with me. So now, young Ali, 13, he doing what he do and what he see around him, right? You know, kind of like just what anybody else do. You learn from your environments. And if you choose to become your environment, then you do so, right? So I'm becoming my environment. And in my environment, they sell drugs, they gang bang, they hustle, they get money. I don't know, whatever you saw in yours, you probably did. I did what I saw in mine. So that's what I'm doing. Young Ali now becomes an adult. So we fast forward to about 2015. I had already been to prison and came home. But this time I get pulled over. It's not regular. You know what I'm talking about? Like when it's not regular, like when they got the helicopter up there and then the cars behind and they fanned out. And I'm thinking like, I thought this was a traffic stop. It's not regular. This time I'm going to jail and I'm looking at 130 some years and I'm thinking like, can I see the paperwork, please? I need to know what all these numbers mean, right? And by this time, Ali done progressed and he not only was from a gang, but started a particular section and all these different things that now 130 years is what you're getting charged for, being responsible for all these different counts of all this. And I'm thinking like, I ain't never thought this was going to happen, right? Because most of the time when you get involved in things, you kind of don't think of the end goal, right? You're thinking of the now and how you can benefit from it now, right? And what you can get out of it now. But, you know, you got to think. So let's think for a minute. Now Ali is looking at this 134-year sentence, and I'm not even 21 at the time, but that's the way I'm living my life, and this is what I'm up against. So what do? Well, I mean, this is life. This is what you do. I kind of shrugged it off in that moment thinking I'm tough because I got this ego that I've been built up over the years and all this pride that I've been holding on to, right? And so we're going to sum it up. To sum it up, I ended up with a 15-year sentence, and I go to prison. Well, because I didn't learn anything, and I don't really know who I am, because I just told you I learned from my environment. So I grew up being everything but Ali, actually. I grew up being every alias that you can think of. Realistically, I had one. I just don't share it anymore. But I had a moniker just like most of us in this room, right? Who had a moniker before? right? Okay, cool. Don't worry, I ain't telling nobody. I'm just. But what I'm saying is that, you know, it was hard to figure out who I was. So for years, early on in my sentence, I'm still on the path of destruction. I mean, and I'm a part of a criminal organization, so that's easy. You go in there, and if you've been inside before, then you know it's at, you know, it's at your hands, you know, arm's length. Like, you know, we doing whatever we want to do to continue to get to it. And then eventually I got something that was like a wake up call, right? And this becomes my why. So we got insight to causes and factors, and now we're talking about the why. So my why was my daughter. My daughter came to see me 2018. I'm in Calipat. Anybody ever been to California prisons and stuff? I'm in Calipat, level 4. So I'm near Calipat. My daughter comes see me, and I'm in the visiting room, chain on. You know what I'm saying? I got, you know, I got everything hemmed up. I don't know how y'all did it, but you know, we had to hem, tailor everything. You know what I'm talking about? The guy in the front know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what I'm talking about when y'all go to visit. Y'all be having everything nice and looking good. Okay, cool. So I got it looking good, right? And I'm feeling like the man. My daughter coming to see me. She's 6 years old. I haven't got to hug her since I went to prison. It's been bad. But today gonna be good, right? Got all the snacks at the table ready for her. I'm not even supposed to touch the vending machine, but I got everything ready for her. It's going down. We have a great visit. Well, it's time to go. And everybody know what that means. Here come the tears. So now my daughter won't stop crying. And I don't really know what to do. Because usually I have a solution for everything. Don't most of us think we always got a solution for everything? Am I the only person in the room that think like that? Okay, remember we interacting, so you know I'm gonna ask questions, you know, feedback. But for some reason, I think I can solve it. So I'm like, yeah, you know, don't worry about it. You'll be back. And she's 6, so essentially I'm talking to myself, and she's crying. And no matter what I said or what I did or what I thought I could do, she wouldn't stop. Well, you know, I gotta go. Y'all know the rules. You know, we gotta go. Clear out the visiting room, get back, you know, to the yard. And the moment she walked out, and after I got done, you know, doing what we do and taking my walk, tears hit me, and I couldn't stop crying now. And it didn't matter how big I was, how tough I was walking back across the yard, the tears just wouldn't stop falling. And in that moment, I realized the ripple effect of my decisions and the things that I've been doing in my life. And up until then, I hadn't seen any of my children. I didn't really look at it like I didn't love them. Of course I loved them. I mean, who got kids in here? Do you love your kids? Very much. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think we know the difference from the parents that really don't, but my actions wasn't showing that. Do you get what I'm saying? My actions were not showing that I loved my children. It was more selfish, and I didn't really equate that yet. I was still growing up. I'm still growing up now. I'm still growing up. So look, now I'm on my way back, and when I get there, you know, I realized that in order to make a difference in this moment, I got to do something different. I don't want that feeling. Like it was something different about knowing that my daughter was hurt. Like, you know, I wasn't the coolest guy in the world. I didn't hurt people's feelings before, and I was part of a gang culture. So you kind of, you know, into just doing things that don't make sense. But that right there made me have feelings and made me feel human. So here comes the change in the story, right? You know, because again, I don't really like to talk about myself, so just bear with me. As we start to now dive deeper, I start realizing that something got to change. So I get an invite to go to this class. At the time, it was with ARC down out there, and it was a CGA, which is Criminal Gang Anonymous. So I go down over there to the Criminal Gang Anonymous, and it's a guy in there named Jamel Carter. I remember he dressed fly, nice suit. And I'm like, okay, I see you. You know, I don't know. Y'all go to classes inside there. People come in. You ever see the person speaking? You ever look like, okay, I see what you got on. All right, cool. Because I haven't seen none of that in a long time. Like I said, if you know where Calipat is at, you're not coming out to no yard. There's none of that going on. So other than a visit or a class like that, that's the closest you're gonna get to seeing people coming from the outside. And what kind of shoes, what kind of Jordans is those right there, bro? Let me see. Like, you know, we just checking out natural stuff. Like we want to be in tune with it. So anyways, I'm paying attention to it. And he say, oh, you like my outfit? That's what he say, you like my outfit? And I'm like, yeah. He said, okay, you'll be home soon. You do the same thing. I'm like, yeah, whatever. I just came to the class. But now I'm in this class and I have the opportunity to learn as long as I keep showing up. So I say that for everybody that's inside, that's listening, when you have opportunities like this to show up to places where they talking, they doing things, or you go to the classes, right? All your self-help groups in there, NAAAs, every single one that you can actually learn something from. Oh, for sure. Go take advantage of it and actually participate in it. Because again, I wasn't really given that opportunity for so long, just being at that facility. There was no programs, there was no classes until eventually there was. So anyway, for some reason, I'm in this class and I'm trying to learn something. And all I know that it has to do with is my daughter. And eventually I stick around and I start getting around the lifers. And somehow it just became like a mess, right? Like home, like for some reason with the lifers, like I just fit in. And so it was kind of weird because I didn't have life, but that's kind of how I programmed. So it just made sense. And what they always would tell me was, and y'all got to catch this part too. They always would tell me was, do the programs, man. Get your credit, get your racks credit, get all the things when you go to board. That's how they talk. When you go to board, go to board. I'm like, I'm not going to board. What y'all talking about? I'm not going to board. What y'all talking about? But eventually I listened. So I went to the classes, right? I did the work, I got the certificates. I did the hours, right? Instead of being on the yard, I was doing the homework, right? Studying, going to college. So eventually I started to actually make this change. I started writing a book. I wrote a book. I published a book in 2019 called Words Are Rich, a 30-day affirmation guide to positive thinking. I also released it while I was incarcerated as well. On Amazon, it was one of the best sellers at that time. I think it still is. If you ask me, I might be biased, but I'm just being honest though, you know what I'm saying? But realistically, I started again, just putting forth the effort. Well, eventually, here's a story. 2022, laws change as they always do. And I get a letter saying that I got a court date. And I'm thinking like a court date. They're like, yeah, this law changed, 1 year prison prior, not allowed to have, we taking you back, they'd be ABs and all the different, right, So, okay, cool. So now, hey, mama, call mom. Hey, mom, I'm going to court. Y'all show up. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be down there, down in the county. So I get down there and I go to court and the judge tell me, basically, I got an opportunity to come home and it's to his discretion. That's where it gets tricky. Because I don't know how you're going to feel today when I walk in this courtroom. But I had already done the work. You get what I'm saying? So now the first thing he do is he reach in my file. Boom. And when he go into the file, he get to looking at the degrees, the certificates, the classes I went to. Remember, because I started listening to the lifers, right? But don't think lifers, think mentors. See where I'm going with it? And they started telling me to know your story. And eventually the judge asked me to step up to the podium. How you doing, Mr. Porter? I got all, I remember I had them blues, the same ones I wore to visit. You didn't have that many. So the same ones I wore to visit, I creased them on up, stepped up to the podium. How you doing, y'all? Yeah, how you doing? How you doing, man? You looking good today? I'm trying to see where his discretion is at. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's bad, it's bad. Well, I did that for 2 years. 2 years. Because no matter how good it looked on paper, I still had a lot of bad things in the box. If you were listening to the story in the beginning, I wasn't changed. In the beginning, I didn't do anything different when I went to jail, except actually progressed to be even worse, worse, because that's not a word, but worse, right? So, yeah, that's what I was doing. So now I had to face those consequences when I had it all pretty and in a box. And he like, yeah, but in 2016 and 15, when you got off that bus, they they got everything transcribed, and I'm facing that. I'm gonna tell you what helped me. Here we go. Accountability. Y'all hear me in the back over there? Accountability. That was that part right there. So I knew for 2 years, and I didn't know it was gonna be 2 years, but for 2 years, as I was coming back and forth to court, eventually, his name is John D. Malloy, Department 63. He ended up granting my freedom. As you can see, I'm standing in front of you guys. And that was April 11th, 2024. So we talking a year ago, right? After not supposing, like, I was supposed to be out to 2030. And that was like, okay. So now I'm just like overwhelmed with emotions. And I'm just like, okay, I'm excited. But like, it wasn't by miracle. It wasn't by like, oh yeah, I'm just going to sit in the cell and watch well, I don't know what y'all called it, but we called Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It was like this box, that TV, we used to call it, excuse my language, call it the stupid box, but it was a box right there. And I didn't do that. I didn't sit there and watch the TV or the TV watch me. I got up every single day and I made sure I caught the door when it unlocked, because that's where I was at. In that prison, if you didn't make the unlock, you wasn't coming out. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to be ready when they came around, like at the door, like, it's a little window, you like at the door and like hit the lights. Hey, you ready? Come on. Because you had a certain amount of time before you had to shut the door too. Like, that's how it was. But it wasn't my game, so I had to play theirs. And so by doing so, I was able to walk the lines, not in between them. But I'm going to tell you the hardest part. The hardest part was because I went in, this individual that was this big bad guy. Remember that A-list, that mocker? And so I had to figure out how to stay on track somehow and figure out at the same time who Ali Porter was again. And the only way I knew how to do it was to put the same energy and effort that I put into the wrong things now into what I consider the right things. You get what I'm saying? Like, anybody know what that feel like? You know exactly what I mean, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Like, when you take that energy and you shift it and you put it into the right things now, the same person, you that same individual, the whole time you've always been yourself. It's about finding who yourself is. So now let's go back to insight. The reason why that's important is because you out now. You guys are out. And the ones that's currently in, you see that how everybody was all high-fiving and happy through the screen, like we know somebody and stuff like that. Eventually, they will be out too. I don't know everybody's circumstances, but I know that when you do the work, you will come home, right? So now, here's the thing. Do you wait till you get out to start actually doing the work? You see what I'm saying? Because you're going to come down here to Hope for Prisoners. They're going to welcome you in. Hey, what's going on? Come on through. You're looking for a job, trade? I got you. But this is where it's going to really show up and count at, right? If you know insight to causative factors. The reason why I brought up the 1999 and 2000 is because I was able to figure out what triggered me when somebody would step on my shoe and I'm ready to lose it all, put it all out on the line over a shoe that I can go buy again. It has to be deeper than that. And I'm not talking about going to a psychologist. I'm saying sit down and understand your timeline. Because you come here, right, and you get the job, and now you're looking all good on your first day and everything, and if somebody says something to you that you don't like, and you haven't dealt with insight to causative factors, so instantly you do this, because that's how we've been literally reacting to situations all of our life. I just told y'all I was a year, so I've been out here for 1 year, but I've been doing that for 30-something years. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm still growing. I don't know if y'all heard me say that. I'm still growing up out here. It's all new. So if you don't have new coping skills, right, strategies, the things to add to your plate and put in your toolbox, you worse than Bob the Builder. I don't know, y'all remember Bob the Builder? What did he have? What tool did he have? A hammer. Somehow he fixed everything with a hammer. Try it. Let's see how it works. I'm just saying, try to go around with a hammer and see if you can fix all the things in your life. It's not. That's a cartoon. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to help you grab some more tools and put it in your box, but it's up to you to grab them. Now, you guys are here now already, right? And so for those to come, you now have somehow become an example of what it looks like. Person that said hey to you, she said she was proud of you because you talked about it in there, right? And then you came out here and you did it. I'm proud of you too. Let me get some of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of you too. I'm proud of you all the. You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm gonna tell you why I'm proud of you, because I had to do the same thing, so I relate to that. I had to start inside in order for it to transpire outside. You get what I'm saying? And so right now the work is just catching up. Oh, y'all didn't hear that part. The work is just catching up. So let me talk to you about my year. Woo! It's only been a year. I feel like it's been 30 out here. But for real, it's going fast. I mean, first 30 days. I'm going back and forth for parole because I haven't seen my parole officer. Y'all know how that can be. I'm not trying to violate what's going on. I'm up here. Y'all got me on camera, right? I'm trying to figure it out, right? And if for some reason I get a call and they say, Mr. Porter, come on to the office. Okay, here I come. But you remember, I'm tuned in, so they slapping ankle braces on people and they doing all type of stuff. So I'm thinking like, man, well, here we go. I go on in there and we go into the back room. I don't know if y'all experienced this yet, but you go to the back and then had me this paper. I said, what's that? They say, you no longer on parole. I said, what you mean? They said, yeah, you discharged. It's your papers. You know, I said, this me? They said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. I took it. You know what I'm saying? And I asked where the door was. You know, no, for real. So how that worked was, I went to court and I had 6 years time served. And so that canceled out my parole, and it was the best thing for me because I went to prison in California, but I'm in Vegas with you guys, right? And so this was my family, was my wife and my kids. So that allowed me now to get up and go home. And that's the first thing I did. I remember I called my mom and I said, hey, go ahead and put that good dinner on, the family dinner I've been wanting all them years. Go ahead and cook that and invite everybody over. And I'm gonna tell them when I get there. She said, okay. So I went on to the house. We had the dinner and we did the thing, and put the table on the paper just like how they did to me. The paper on the table just like how they did to me. I slid it just like that. They said, "What's that?" I just kept eating. Like I don't even know what they was talking about, right? All that good stuff. But 30 days later, I was standing right here in this building, and I was here, asking for, like, how can I get in? I'm knocking on the door. Excuse me, how I get in this program? Oh, you got to sign up. Like somehow I just came literally on orientation. Like I can't even make this up. Like I just walked in and they was like, "Oh, we doing orientation. Go to that room." And I was like, "Okay." Went to the room. In other words, I did everything I was told and I followed it. I didn't try to cut no corners. I didn't try to break no lines. I don't got no money coming in. I don't have nothing except my plan. And in 2022, I wrote my reentry plan, and it was get out of prison, get your social security, right? Driver license, all the little stuff you do, and go check in at Hope for Prisoners. And all I did was stick to the plan. You see what I'm saying? And once I got here, I went through the program, did a vivid vision, right? All the stuff. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all was in that same cheers doing the oath and all that. Okay, I did all of that, right? And for me, the only thing that helped me through that process was sticking to my plan and not giving up on it. It was challenging. How do I have time to come sit here? And I got a wife, I got kids, I need money need to be made, and I know how to make the money, but I got to be patient. And most people think because you do a decade in prison, you learn patience. No, you was forced to do that. You was not volunteered. Let me sign up to go learn patience. It don't work like that. But what I did learn was myself. And so I knew how to be patient now because I understood when I was getting triggered, when I was getting impatient. It was mindfulness now that was kicking in, right? So far, I didn't drop insight to causative factors, accountability, mindfulness, right? Trigger, coping skills. If you're listening, I'm putting it in there for you to take with you because those are all of the things that you're going to need in your toolbox to be successful now that you're here and when you guys get here. You get what I'm saying? It's not no magic recipe to it. They put people like, oh, so, I know when I get out, I know so-and-so, they promised me a job over there. What I tell you about that job, you can get the job, but are you going to be able to maintain, sustain it when you run into real life challenges? Because this last year has been an uphill battle. And I thought the battle was over once I was free. I thought like, I'm free, like it's good. And I'm like, man, in 0 to 90 days, can't make this up. I was on a private jet flying to a whole nother town. I had a mentor, Jeanette King, an amazing woman. And I got to learn all these different things. And I met her through this program by showing up and just volunteering. I was steaming the gowns. How y'all doing? I'm gonna get y'all gowns ready. I'm just walking in. At one point, they probably looked at me like, what is he doing? I just walked in one graduation, went to the back and just started speaking to the people. How y'all doing? Y'all good? Just introducing myself and stuff. But, they probably tired of me. Tired of me yet? No. So, but what I did was what they said to do in the class, and that's stick around, show up. You guys remember that? That's all I did. So I'm not telling you no secrets. I'm just telling you what I did. And in that process, although I was struggling and going through it, and yeah, I was on those jets and I was doing all this crazy, fancy stuff. In the blink of an eye, things changed, and now I was back out looking for a job. Bills need to be paid. Had to figure it out. So who know what minimum wage is out here? Y'all know? So start at 12. All right, don't even just keep me at 12. That's where I went. You get what I'm saying? I went right to $12. And in that moment, I was like, dang, $12. But no, listen to me. I was doing 10 years in prison for 14 cents. So right there in that moment, I need to check myself. I got $12, 12 big ones. You know what I'm saying? 12 big ones coming in. All I got to do is go up here and work. I don't know if y'all been out here long enough. A lot of people don't want to work. So I said, you'll get the job. The job is out here. And I've had a lot shut the door in my face and say, oh, your background and things like that. But I went to another one and went to another one and went to another one. And then eventually the door opened and I was in, right? For that $12. And I was working it like it was 100 because I knew what to bring. And I knew that if I did that, it'd catch up with me, right? What you put out there is going to catch up with you. That's why I told you, and I was sitting in front of that judge, and it was all pretty and in the box because I was listening to the mentors, which is the lifers in prison. I was listening to them. I thought that was going to cover up the things that I had did wrong when I first got in. And he saw it, and he told me, he said, man, you are the poster child for rehabilitation, but I don't understand how someone who is this smart to go get a degree and to get certificates and do all these things, got all these phone write-ups, all these fights, all these, just the whole, it's there. It's not adding up, right? So your actions got to match who you want to become and who you want to be out here in life. Again, it got to start inside there. And then once you hear, you got to figure out how to continue to keep it up. Because when you run into those challenges, what are you going to do? That's the real question. That's the question for the inside. Like, y'all might have a question for me, but that's the question for you guys. Is when you run into those challenges, what are you going to do? Because they're going to come up. Right now, we've built coping skills based on when we were inside, right? Somebody cut you, or somebody, let me give y'all real situations, right? You know what I'm saying? It's time to get in the shower and somebody that got in your shower spot. You're like, man, bro, I've been waiting here, and you just got in from yard and they're about to lock everything down. That's a real situation. And in that moment, you got to make a real decision. If you're going to argue and trip over this shower, or if you're going to let it go and probably have to end up in this sink, right? And so somehow you probably conquered that. But now when you out here and you got your own shower you can get in, that's not a worry anymore. What you got to worry about is that person at the light. You don't know what they're going through today, and they cut you off. And you haven't dealt with that in so long. Now you didn't cut me off. But you're not realizing their background and your background is different. And things that they doing in life and what you doing in your life is different. And in that moment, you have to think about that shower spot and how you got past that. And if you're not quick on your feet, you might end up in a situation you don't want to be in. You see what I'm saying? Because life is going to throw different things at you that's going to trigger you in a different way. And you got to be prepared for that. And there's nothing I can say up here to prepare you for it, except if you got your bag open, throw them tools in it. Somebody give me some of them tools I mentioned. Just make sure y'all listening. Anybody. Accountability, versatility, mindfulness, patience, triggers, warning signs, right? Insight to causative factors. Again, one of the biggest things. Why is that? Because first off, who are you? And that's a real question. Take that with you. Please don't answer that today. It's too quick. Who are you? For so long, you were somebody else. You now have the opportunity to become who you want to become. This time, you get to be yourself. If they ever ask, if you ever wonder, because my daughter asked me one day, she said, Dad, why you always say your name, Ali Porter? She said, why you always say Ali Porter? I said, because baby, I know who I am now. You know what I'm saying? I know every time I introduce myself, how you doing? Ali Porter. I answer my phone, Ali Porter speaking. Anybody do that? Ali Porter speaking. I want them to know this is me. For a long time, I didn't even hear my name. It was always something else, and I answered to it quick. And it was like, if somebody called you your name, it's like, what you calling me that for? You know what I'm saying? It was like forbidden, but that's my name. Like, what's going on, right? So those things, right? Those are old habits you got to get rid of, right? To form new habits, right? And so as we come to an end, before we get into this Q&A, the only real thing I'm saying here is that life is going to throw all type of challenges at you. And in those moments, in those battles, the only thing you're going to have is those tools I just gave you. And if you know which one to use, every single time you'll be able to fix the situation. Because again, we all agree that most of us think we can fix things. But if you don't have the right tool, then you already lost half the battle. And I say half because you might stay in it for a while. You might be doing pretty good, using the same strategies and the same tools and the same methods, handling things the same way. But if you keep doing the same thing, what you get? The same results. And I know for me, that was a long prison sentence. So I can't come back out here and cut any more corners. I can't come back. You get what I'm saying? I can't do the same thing. I have to make that change. So that's 100% your choice. I'm not here to tell you to do nothing like that. Why would I do that? I'm just telling you what I did. I'm telling you that I did it and it worked out for me. I'm telling you that somebody thought I did something right to say, hey, you want to come speak today? That's all I'm saying. I don't know what I did, but I did something. And that's just use those tools, right? And so in this last minute, as we wrap up, I just ask that you keep your toolbox open and you go for the right tool when you're faced with certain challenges in life. So that way you're able to overcome those obstacles anytime you face them. I believe in every single one of you guys, and I can't wait to finally be able to meet all of you guys, and you guys now come out. You guys have this opportunity as well, because it's because of you guys that I do what I do now. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all for letting me speak. Let me talk with y'all.
Mr. Ali Porter. Can we give him another hand, please? Good job, man. So this is the time that we're going to open it up for some Q&A. Was that some good stuff? Well, let's talk about how good it is. What was that one thing that Mr. Porter dropped into this room that's resonating with you? I'm opening it up for those of you inside Nevada Department of Corrections. What was that one nugget that resonated with you, or you just like for him to expound on a little bit? If you're in the institution, please lift your hand up and then come up to the camera. And we're going to make our way over here. Oh, you can stay right there. If you would stand up, and I want you to look into the camera right there because you're about to get famous. And what is that the thing that resonated with you?
First and foremost, I relate to everything he said as far as about starting while you in there.
Right.
You know, because that's what I did. I've been doing everything that I said that I was gonna do. You know, come down here, you know, and really get to the nitty gritty of what's going on. You know, not just to get a job, but, you know, figure out some underlying problems.
That's right.
You know, and stop running away from them and stop trying to cut the corners. You know, because there be some real things that be going on with us, and a lot of us, men and women, we don't want to figure out what's really causing stuff, because we cool with who we been, and so we ain't really trying to change nothing. You know, so I really felt that, you know, when he said that, you know, to start doing it now, you know, whether you locked up, you know, whether you free, you know what I'm saying? So that's what stuck with me.
I like that, man. Give it up, man. Give it up. And Ali, you can jump in here and expound on it, or I think somebody's inside the Nevada Department of Corrections. Step up, tell us your name, and what is that question or comment you might have for Ali Porter?
How you doing, Ali? My name is Lamont Boulder. Hey, I just want to say, man, you are a prime example
Come on.
of, you know, what Hope of President is truly hitting for, and what God is hitting for, you know, because in a year, man, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are definitely where you're trying to get to, man, and we're grinding for that. And I tip my hat to you, man. Hope Prisoners is both a catalyst, you know, and a safety net at the same time, you know, it allowed it to be. And so, you know, John come through, John up there grinding every day for us and making it make sense for us, and we appreciate that. And, you know, none of this would be possible for him, man. I'm a plumber, you know, certified plumber here. I got a CDL.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot going on. I got a lot of things that I could reach for. And, man, none of this is going to happen for me without hope. When I get out of here, you know, I'm going to use hope as that catalyst. I know I got a safety net. I appreciate that. But the catalyst is what I'm shooting for.
Right.
And I mean, we got to do it, man. You prime example of that, man. It's doable. It's doable, and it's doable, you know, in a real way. So,
Right.
I mean, congrats, man. Doing your thing. We appreciate you.
Man,
Mr. Boulder,
man,
thank you so much.
man.
Thank you so much.
You know,
Thank you so much.
I appreciate him.
Yes.
You know, and everybody else, because realistically, everything he said, the most thing that stuck to me was that he's here, right? So
That's
that makes
right.
him here.
That's right.
Him being in that room, you know, the decisions you make, they
That's
add
right.
up. So he's obviously doing something correct.
That's right.
Because he's here.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you.
That's right. Give Mr. Boulder a big gigantic hand. Chad, we're going to come over here to the Billy Walton Center for Second Chances in the Stephen Judy Siegel Auditorium. Look right over in the camera over there. And what is that thing that resonated with you?
Hi, I'm Crystal. I have my first interview today. I've been locked up for 2 years now. So my interview, she asked me about having to be accountable or responsible for something, which I just told her kind of my story about why I was here, and which is a DUI. But when I first came here, it was like the woe is me, it's everybody else's fault. But once I realized my accountability in a situation, the things that I could have done different, it really changed my perspective on the power that I have and my story and the things that I could do. Ever since I've been inside, I've just been working every day to just better myself. I have a question. For the people that are inside, there's two things. What did your routine daily look like? Like, what are the things that you did to change? And also, like, what were some good books that you read?
Okay.
Great question.
Those are amazing questions. So that's a good one. So in terms of like my routine daily, what I did, it was very strict. And for me, it was literally starting off with a workout early in the morning. That would just get my mind right. A workout for you could be meditating, exercises, whatever worked out for you, right? So I got up bright 4:30. I still do to this day. I got a good workout in, had me a simple oatmeal, things like that. And again, I caught that door. I'm a programmer. So, I got right into education. I worked in the education department eventually. And I had job, and right after that, I had classes to the point that I became the facilitator of those classes. So I started becoming who I wanted to be in there. And so, literally, once I had my plan on what it is that I wanted to do, that's what I did. I started doing it in there and becoming that example in front of others. The same peers that saw me on the yard, working out, doing all that other stuff, they now saw me transformed into Ali Porter. And so books, again, you know which book I read, the one I wrote. But Think and Go Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, The Spook That Sat by the Door has been a really, really good, interesting read for me. Those are just to name a few that kind of got me through. And of course, the Bible, you know what I'm saying? Day and night. So, start off with that, finish with that. You know what I'm saying? Those books right there get you through anything.
Man, that's so good. Give him up for that. Give it up. Give it up. Get it up. Hey, Ali, someone online just dropped in the chat as we're making way for our other question. They said, what does words are rich mean? What is the significance of that?
All right. That's a great question because I can't wait to tell everybody. So words are rich. The significance in that is that when you speak to people, you never know what they're going through, right? And so I don't know you from meeting you today, but I like your hat. You know what I'm saying? It's really nice. And I already told you your J's was really good, right? But how did that make you feel? And that's what words are rich is. It's passing positive affirmation to people because you never know how they feeling or what they going through or what they went through before they got here. If we practice that, I'm not saying we could change the world, but words are rich.
That is good. Give it up for him. Please stand up. Look over in the camera over there. Tell us your name. And what is that question or comment did you have for Dr. Porter?
Hi, my name is Raekwyn Burnett, and I really resonated on some of the things that you were talking about, for sure. Sticking to the plan and being motivated and getting through these challenges. What really motivated me to ask this question was, what was one concept that branched off of your first idea to start writing your first book?
Great question.
One concept that pretty much sparked me writing my book. Well, I wrote it when I was in solitary confinement, the whole, right? And a lot of it had to do with me like wanting to, like needing positive, right? Needing positivity in my own life. So I started writing literally a journal to myself, just positive words. But I would say a concept. The concept would be, I'll say Nipsey Hussle. So Nipsey Hussle has said something and it stuck with me. And it was like, would you rather be at war with yourself and peace with the world, or war with the world and peace with yourself? And that's how my life felt in that moment, because here I was in solitary confinement and I was looking for peace, and there was no peace there. It was just me. And I realized I didn't have peace with myself. You know what I'm saying? So that became that pen that started just moving through the papers, and I started finding peace within myself by speaking it to myself. And that turned into a book. And at that moment, it was never going to be a book. It was literally called Words of Rich, right? And I was like, nah, it's not about that. And then I made it R Rich, and I started expounding on that. So yeah, that's what it came from. It came from that piece of, quote, and I now transferred that into wanting to find peace within myself. Appreciate it.
I think we're going to go over to Nevada Department of Corrections. Please step up. Tell us your name and what is that question and comment that you might have for Dr. Porter. You're on the mute button.
My name's Hassan Davis. I just like to give him a comment. The same things that you've been going through, man, God has really blessed you. I've been praying for them same things. And it's crazy that you come and say that, because that was resonating with my spirit about coping skills, about changing my ways, about, just handling my business as myself, doing things that really, says that I love me, and you really inspired me to keep going. So you just gave me some jewels, some nuggets to keep me persistent in what I'm aiming for, and that's a better life for myself first, better life for my son, better life for my family,
Amen.
And a better life for the community.
Right.
So that's where I'm headed.
Right. Man,
I appreciate you, brother.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you because like I said earlier, when I started, I don't really like talking about myself. So I was happy that I was actually able to start talking about things that were going to be meaningful for everybody here. And you hit it right on the nose, man. Like having those skills are going to be such an important thing. Just like you have those trades and all the other stuff, those skills are going to be the thing that helps you catapult to any level, because you have to know yourself. You have to be ready and prepared for the unknown. And that starts with insight again, to causative factors. Anybody in this room, if you don't have insight to who you are, eventually you'll find out the hard way.
All right, give it up, give it up. We're going to go back over to Nevada Department of Corrections. Gene Conservation Camp, please step up. Tell us your name and what is that question or comment that you might have for Dr. Ollie Porter.
Hi, my name is Samantha. Thank you for your story, your testimony. I loved all the nuggets you dropped. The biggest one, though, was understand your timeline. You have to understand who you are, where you came from, to know what you want to be. So I resonated with that big time. And the vision, I love it. I have one. What worked for me, I just want to add to it is little goals to go to your medium goals to go to your bigger goals. Because if you focus on the big goal, you're going to get discouraged. But if you focus on that little goal to get to that medium goal, you're going to get there faster, and start here. So thank you. We're proud of you. And keep doing great.
Yeah, I like that. I don't have to say none of that, but thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you so
for
much.
The little goal, the medium goal, and the big
That's
goal.
right, man.
Yeah,
She can write the book on that.
You know what I'm
If
saying?
Please
I'ma
stand up
read it
and
too.
look over the camera over there. Just tell us your name and what is that question or comment you might have for Dr. Porter.
Absolutely. My name's Paul Romero from Las Vegas. And Ollie, I wanted to ask you what kind of programs you do for people as a life coach.
Awesome. Hey,
great question.
You asking
great
good
question.
All of those questions have been great. I wouldn't even say they weren't. But so the programs that I do currently right now as a life coach, we have different programs, but mine is focused on the path of reconstruction. It's a 21-day program, 21 lesson program in the course of 7 weeks, 3 times a week, or depending on like the individual, how we schedule it. But it addresses everything from emotional intelligence, right, to anger management. Again, the insight to causative factors. We get down to a relapse prevention plan, a re-entry plan, because it's a correspondence book as well. So we work with incarcerated individuals as well. Like, we send it in. I've been trying to get it where if they finish it, they can get like merits and stuff for it to get time knocked off. But that's a step you got to, get over. But anyways, to kind of stay on track, a lot of it is based on, again, like the path of reconstruction. So when I sit down with a potential client, mentee, or a coachee in that moment, I learn specifically what it is that they want from me, and then I create a course on that. But if you go through the general one, it's 21 lessons, and it just helps with just the path of reconstruction, like regaining your life, regaining your strength, emotional intelligence, the things, again, mindfulness, all those skills that we were talking about, accountability, coping, like helping you figure out time management, all those things in 21 lessons. We just dive in. Appreciate it.
Come over here. Q, would you stand up, look over in the camera over there, tell everybody your name and what is that question you have for Dr. Porter?
My name is Kumar. What's up, Casa? Mr. Ollie Porter, you actually reminded me of a lot of things that, like, when I was in the hood and shit, like, excuse me, ooh. When I was in the hood and stuff like that, my brothers always would say proper planning prevents poor performance. You're like, you gotta have the 5 P's to get through anything. And it also reminded me of the story in the Bible of the 10 virgins. When the master was away, 5 wasn't working, 5 was. So when he came back, the 5 that wasn't working got beaten over the head. The 5 that was working was rewarded. And that's like with this program with Hope for Prisoners. When I first did it, I'm like, okay, these just classes. Like, let me just do like whatever. Let me just pass my time. You feel me? And this past Sunday, I went to the barber board because, I do hair and stuff like that. And so when I went, I was already properly prepared. John had wrote me a letter. I had did my classes. I had one class of DUI left over. So when they got to looking at my papers, they was like, oh yeah, you're approved. Like, we can approve you to go to school because you're nice and ready.
There you go. Yeah, that's what's up.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Fun fact, because she mentioned fun fact, right?
Yeah.
Proper preparation prevents poor performance, right? I had it on my wall next to my mirror every morning, the 5 P's.
That's right.
So that was something else, like, inside your cell, when you put stuff up, 5 P's is right there next to the mirror.
That's right, man. Give him a hand for that, man. Congratulations. We're going to go over to Casa Grande. Please step up, tell us your name, and what is that question and comment that you might have for Dr. Porter?
Hey, my name is Lindell, and I just had, because I've been over here stressed out. I go to the parole board in about like 2 weeks and everything, right? And I just, you never really know what they're gonna say and what they're gonna do. But like how he was saying, like, I've been putting in the work though. Like, I've been programming, I've been working for like going on 3 months by the time I go to the board, been cool on the write-ups and everything. So it just God came and, he gave me a little bit more of clarity and making me feel a little bit better about going to this place in 2 weeks because like I feel like I've been properly prepared and like y'all been saying proper preparation prevents poor performance, so yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for coming to speak to us today because I almost didn't even come up here today, but I needed to hear what you had to say. And just want to say thank you and keep up the good work.
I most definitely will.
Outstanding. Chad, we're gonna come over here I'm like old school Geraldo Rivera running around the room. You turn around and take a look at the camera right there. Man, you've been working out. Because your chest look like the hood of a '69 Volkswagen.
My name's Ryan. I just wanted to ask you, what's like some of the verbiage that you use in like your speech pathology with your clients?
Okay, so some of the verbiage that I use in my method, I'm gonna be very honest with you. It's very, very transparent. Like, but most of the time, in that situation, like in the client situation, I'm not literally. So it's not about me. So at all times, we go over like the formalities of, I'm here to assist and uplift you, and then I have like a structural kind of format that I follow. Verbiage wise, I talk pretty much to the level of my client, right? I don't really come in with like a one particular like stance of speaking or etiquette, right? Because depending on who I'm talking to, I may have to talk a certain way for them to understand me or another way. So I'm really universal in terms of verbiage, but I keep it formal, professional, and I make sure that they understand that it's not about me. I keep all the attention on them because I'm there to assist and uplift. So that's the best way I kind of expound on that.
That is good. Give me a hand for that. Please stand up. Tell us your name and what is that question and comment you might have for Dr. Porter.
My name is Joel Fox, and my question is, what type of roadblocks have you run into that you haven't told us about, and what were your solutions to those problems?
That's a good question.
That's a great question.
I'm gonna give it to you. Which one you want? You want the one from yesterday, or because I'm looking outside, they setting up one right now for me, and I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? No, roadblock that. Let me run through this real quick. A good one. Basically, I would say, man, I'm gonna be very transparent. I would say the biggest roadblock I've run into, and it may not seem like it until you hear, has been with my daughter. She's here with me, and she's probably like, why you do that, Dad? I'm gonna be in trouble on the way home. John knows. But I remember talking with her, and her response was, "Dad, you're really big, right? You're kind of scary." So I did this. And I said, "Can you hear me now?" But it was a roadblock for me because I had to learn how to connect with my child, and it's my child. So I'm like, it's confusing, like, well, how, but I've been gone for years. You understand what I'm saying? I haven't been physically there. Oh, I talked, asked her. We talked FaceTime, all type of calls. I told you about them phone write-ups. Like, I may have did good things with it, but I still broke the law. But the biggest roadblock has been that connection as a man working to understand a young girl and her challenges in life and the things that she's facing and how she views it, and wanting her just to know that at the end of the day, I'm gonna do everything I can to show up for you. And so it's one of the biggest ones, but I'm still going through it.
Good deal. Good deal. We've been talking with Ali Porter here on the Hope Business Tuesday Huddle Up. We have come to the top of the hour, and Ali, thank you so very, very much.
Thank you, John.
Man, should we keep this guy on the short list or what? Yes, well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Ali. Thank you for bringing your daughter out. You looked at him like, I'm going to let you have it when you're on your way home. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Want to say good night to everybody right here in the Billy Walters Center for Second Chances, Hope for Prisons headquarters. Want to say goodnight to everybody inside Nevada Department of Corrections. You guys keep your head up. Want to say goodnight to everybody on the Hope for Prisons Facebook Live page, watching from all over the globe on the YouTube channel, the LinkedIn page. Good night, and we'll see you guys next Tuesday night. God bless you.